mentality destroyed you. There's a great deal of entitlement that is ripping a lot of people apart in society. You can call this discipline part 2 entitlement mentality. Last week we talked about personal hypocrisy, but now entitlement mentality. People are so entitled for nothing. They don't add value. The only value they add to the public discourse is the entitlement value. People don't give value, but they're quick to ask, what is in it for me? But the question is, what is the value you have brought on the table? It is entitlement mentality that makes a woman think that because a man is dating her, he should solve all her life problems. Please, woman, go out there and work. Leave the poor man alone. He's got his own problem. It's not a crime that he decided to date you. Wives, go and work. And don't listen to any man that says you shouldn't work. The idea of a full-time housewife is a jaded idea. Stop deceiving yourself. You have to walk around doing your work, raising your children, and following your dreams. You know, there are a lot of people in Nigeria that they don't do anything for a living. They're so jobless. They don't have a day job. And what do? Hobnob from one politician to another. And that's why when the people blame the politicians for the problems in this country, I look at it and say, look at all the people blaming them. You too, you're part of the problems. I speak it the way it is. I don't fear no man. There are a lot of people, once their family or relative becomes elected in a position, automatically they make themselves PA. There are a lot of people that once their relative owns a business, automatically they make themselves a leash to the business. They come and they take and they destroy. And that's why you see that there is no societal productivity, because it's entitlement money. Most of the money that goes in corruption is based on entitlement. The ecosystem of corruption is aided and abetted by entitlement. Why will your lawmaker pay your child's school fees? Why will your lawmaker be the one to give you money to do your child's naming ceremony? Why? I ask you. You know you can't take care of the children, but you're having 10, 15 children. Then you go cap in hand begging. I've done this job for way too much time. And that's why you see I'm very averse when people call to beg on the radio. I scrutinize them because I know too much. Some that I investigated, one that cried on the radio and said, oh, my child is dying, my child. When I went to that place in Okokomaiko, they showed me the guy and said, that's the one smoking Indian hemp. And they say, oh, Ghana, so they call plenty radio stations. We have a society where people just want to feed on the generosity of others. They don't want to get things done. They're so entitled. Haven't you noticed it? Is this the same society that you give somebody something, they ask, is this what you're going to give me? That is this what you're going to give me? Yeah? So this is the only thing you will give me. And you gave him money, you wanted to help him. They even tell you, oh God, the inflation has happened. They are begging for money. Oh. They are the ones begging you for money. Oh. And they say, okay, inflation has happened. You can't be giving me 20,000 naira again. And he's begging you for the money that he didn't work in your hands. Because he lacks discipline to go work. An entitlement mentality has destroyed the mindset. That's why everybody feels entitled. There was a viral video of some police officers the other day that was saying, me, I know they take change as bribe again. I know they take change as bribe again. No, not better money. Even IG know about them. You can see the pervasive level of entitlement. People are so entitled and so unrealistic. Somebody once told me, Rufai, it's so hard for young men to date because there are some girls in Lagos as we speak today that they will not date a man that lives on the mainland. I say, eh? I say, yes, so. It has to be on the island. A lot of false illusions about ourselves, and that's why we don't have the discipline to build a society. So when we talk about the societal problem in Nigeria, you, the people, share a blame in it. Why has corruption festered? Because the people love corruption and they like the mentality of corruption. So when they blame their leaders, they forget that they are the ones that go to the back and say, oh, God, please bless me now. But you know it was corrupt money he's blessing you with. And you say, God will continue to bless you. How did he get the money? Did you ever ask him? No. He must always see to give me. How? But you know he's been a politician for so many years. And now you are complaining that your road is not good. How will your road be good? You collected your road money from him now. All I just demand is societal accountability in the name of objectivity. Because we feel too entitled. Why don't you ask the politician, when are you going to build our roads? No, for you, as long as you go and collect money from his back. That's why people that are doing evil in society, have you ever wondered why that they have supporters? Is it not in this country we have Yahoo Boys Mothers Association? Yes. Yes. We know advanced internet fraud is wrong, but we have mothers that are proud to say that my child is a Yahoo boy. And we open our mouth and say, government is mad. Yes. You forget that we are the government. Oh, it's because they weaponize poverty. Yes. But also, in a poor society, accountability too can be upheld. So we have a lot of very unproductive cash. So much loose cash because of entitlement mentality. And that's why you see a man working 9 to 5. Next thing you're saying, he should buy you a house. He doesn't have a house of his own. The other societies that we run to, that work, is this how they behave? No, there's no free money anywhere. Like they say in local parlance, in Moscow. You don't go to Moscow to play, you go there to work. People to bring accountability to place in society, that's why society grows. If you don't put accountability in place, society becomes a charade. And that's why the Nigerian society today is a joke. Because all of us at one point or the other have turned our eyes away because of our own pecuniary benefits. Lie that you have not collected corrupt money before. Lie. Lie. You just lie. Go ahead and lie. I have not shared in corrupt money. Go ahead. Lie. You know, Rufai will tell you the way it is. Not to condemn you, but to foster societal change. Just lie. Go ahead and lie to me that you have not collected corrupt money ever in your life. Or you don't know somebody that has collected it. So if we want to come to equity, we have to come with clean hands. We have all sinned. And it's because we have an entitlement mentality. If we start to change that with a productive mindset, that we're actually accountable to ourselves, you see things will grow better. A lot of free money. Election season will come now. A lot of free money is out there. And there are a lot of people that feel entitled to it. That for them is, let me collect my own share of the national cake. Oh, yes. Yes. So why do we deceive ourselves? When we talk about crime and criminality in this country, don't they have an ecosystem? Don't they have an ecosystem? Are there not people close to them? Are there not people close to them? Are there not people benefiting from them? So why do we go on this self-deceit and lie to ourselves as though nothing that is happening is beyond us? Why? Why? There are a lot of you that cry for a new Nigeria, but the system now benefits you so much and you don't even believe in a new Nigeria. And you know yourself, so why deceive yourself? I'm not saying society can be totally utopian, but I'm saying if we can reduce entitlement mentality, because I'm a realist to the core, if we can reduce entitlement mentality to a large extent, then things will start to open up. At least people start to have things for a living. It is in this country you see people stay in the house morning till night and they have nothing to do for a living. And they celebrate them. Yes. It is in this country people don't ask questions about how people make their money. All they want is, can I grab from him? Entitlement. For them, it's all about what they can take. And it is those things that hinder the discipline of actually doing the real work of building society and making society a whole lot better. And that's why we have the decay we have in society, because a lot of people are so entitled. You can say, yeah, hitherto weaponization of poverty, they saw people extravagant lifestyle and all of that, and they joined the bandwagon, they had no chance. Those are some arguments you can put on the table, but there's also a counter argument. There are some certain ones that we could have stopped. I know people that resigned their well-paying jobs just because their brothers were voted into parliament in Abuja. And all they do is they sit down, wake up, and they hold their brothers' phones. There are some people, that's what they do for it. They hold people's phones, politicians' phones, and they move around. And at the end of the month, they get thousands. And when they share a bribe of dollars, they get dollars. And they have 3-4 houses in Abuja by just holding phones. That's the country we've built. We've built a rentier system based on entitlement. That it is only if you have links to people that are high up there that you can get anything done. And those are the structures that are destroying that discipline threshold in society. And in a rentier system, the wealth is with few group of people. And that's why you see that there are so many people that have so much, and a lot of people have so little. As we speak today, I'm not sure there are over 30 million Nigerians that have, or 40 million Nigerians that have close to 20 million naira in their account. They're not. They don't even exist. What am I even saying? Because NSI, National Deposit Insurance, that said that a couple of years ago that over 99% of Nigerians don't even have up to 500,000 naira in their accounts. So there's a big disparity because it's an entitlement mentality and there's no focus on general productivity. And that's why when we're advocating for debt forgiveness at a point, I think it was a former British leader that said, when you check the bank accounts of Nigerians in the UK, politicians and the likes, you see big fat money there. And you can't juxtapose the fact that the country is poor and all of that. All of this creeps back to the entitlement mentality network And all of this also creeps back to another fair argument of weaponization of poverty. And all of this also creeps back to lack of discipline. So how do we change this? The day you start to change your mind, you change your world. The day you start to demand accountability and value, society starts to change. Stop asking people, give me money, dash me money. Ask them, what service can I render and you pay me in return? Let's have that priority on you. Stop asking politicians to come and give you money to do your naming ceremony for your 15th child when you know you can't send them to school. Ask them to build schools that all your children can go to. Accountability also means having the number of child you can cater to. There are some people you know you can't raise more than 2 children, but you have 7 and you're still giving birth now. You know you're bringing those children to live in an entitled society. Somebody was telling me about a party where the father was standing from somewhere and they would tell the children to take polyethylene bag, nylon bag, or what they call cellophane bags in local parlance, and they pour rice from table to table to table, and that's what they're going to eat. Yes, we can blame government for not providing enough, but you as a parent, are you taking responsibility? Because you forget that family is the basic unit. The failure of Nigerian society today is a failure of the family society. It's the family. It's largely a failure of families. Because family is the basic unit of society. And that's why I keep projecting and I keep calling on us for a national family conference. Let's even itemize how many families are there in Nigeria as we speak. And that's why in December I'm still planning, if the plan holds, a praise gathering where people can come with their families. Because you see, all of this goes back to the family. There are a lot of families that don't even know their children in the first place. And there are a lot of families that even teach their children the entitlement mentality. There are a lot of mothers that they are the ones that taught their daughter how to be demanding money from their boyfriends. There are a lot of mothers. There are a lot of mothers that a man is just dating your daughter, you're calling the man, asking for money. He's not even married your daughter yet. He's not your in-law. To see the level of decadence in Nigerian society. So most of these things come from families. The girls or the men that have gone overboard have mothers, have fathers. There are a lot of fathers that they know that their son is scamming people on the internet. And you're the one helping him to build houses with that same money of scam. And you are saying it's the blessing of God. You deceive yourself. And that's why you see, when we go to church and share testimonies, I'm sure even God even looks at us and says, oh my God, God must laugh at us a lot. Because you are going to the altar of God, you are saying it's divine breakthrough, but you know that the boy is scamming people. The boy told you that he's selling drugs to send you that money. And you're saying divine breakthrough, that God, you don't know how God... You're lying on the altar of God. Very funny people in this country. Very funny people. We're so entitled. This message, I know it will cause a lot of commotion in people's heads, but it's intended. I speak the truth based on the inclination of God to all of you listening. But you know your boy stole that money. He told you in the end. He told you in the end, you say, well done to him. And you want him to have respect for you as a father. You supported him on evil. A teacher corrected your child in school. You took your gang as a father to go there and beat up the boy. Beat up the teacher because he's entitled. You feel entitled. Why should you touch my son? Well, you know now. And now you act brand new, act like, oh, nothing is happening. And when they say Nigeria is not good, it's people like you that will open your mouth and be shouting, this country is not good, but you know your son is a thief. Don't armed robbers have parents? Is it not in a local government some people give bandits chieftaincy title in this country? Don't armed robbers have parents, I ask you? They do now. They do not sleep in a house every night. Don't they have wives? Don't they have family? Don't they have family they know that they are armed robbers? Why do we deceive ourselves so much? But because it's entitlement for you, you get your own share out of it, you don't care. And for every time you don't care, hope you know that it's hurting somebody else. For every time that your brother that is an armed robber goes to rob people and kills in operation and brings the money back for you and you say, thank God they didn't catch them. Hope you know you made another family cry. Hope you know. And hope you know God will ask you of the blood that they killed because you're an accomplice. Hope you know. You don't know. Now you know. God will ask you of the blood. Yeah, he's forgiving you, but the blood is still on you. It's a merciful God, though, but he will still ask you. Yeah, I hope you know. Because you see, a lot of people will claim they don't know now. Because for every successful operation, it destroyed somebody else's life. For everybody that your son that is a Yahoo boy scammed on the internet, hope you know some of them committed suicide. Because some people will argue that Oyibo people there to the colonizers were collecting what they took from us back. But hope you know another family lost somebody because they committed suicide because your son scammed them abroad. Hope you know. And that blood will be visited upon you. And you shared the money, and it was that same money that somebody died on top that you went to church and you claimed was divine breakthrough. And you called your pastor and said, Pastor, they just paid $300,000 into my son's account. God is wonderful. And pastor said, you know what? He has to pay his tithe too. Say, okay, $10,000, $30,000. And they use the money to buy fan in church. And, they lift up holy hands and sing covenants, keeping God. There is no one like you. Jesus, there is no one like you. And you receive impartation to a criminal. And you say roads will open for you. Hope you know that corrupt money came back to you. Yes, in all fairness, the pastors might not know, to be very balanced. But you that you know that you went it and you took that dirty money to desecrate the house of God because of your entitlement mentality, and you think you have done it. If they say we are to open each other's conscience, the things some people are carrying in their conscience, you will run away. Even your wife or your husband. But the good thing about life is it's only God that protects his own, because you can't be too careful. Do you know what people are thinking against you? Do you know the evil they have in their mind against you already? The person you call your loveliest, your dearest, do you know the evil they think about you? Even that person you sleep on the same bed with, do you know? That's why you can just only do your best, but stand on the path of truth. Even if you can't change it, make your voice heard. Let it be on record that you are not a party to it. Let it be on record. I'll put this on Twitter at Rufai the Fire. That's my Twitter page. Let's take calls. I'm sure this has impacted a lot of people. You can call it Discipline Series 2, Entitlement Mentality. The phone lines to call 0700 903 903 903. This has been a powerful, insightful one. 0700 903 903 903. I'll also see if I can expatiate on this next week. God sparing our lives. 0700 903 903 903. If you're calling us from any part of the world, please put +234. Yami, if you can come and help me put on the YouTube here so I can take some comments and take some interactions from people over here. But you see, those things are the facts I've told you. And hope you know that for every money you shared, it's upon you. So it's best you start asking for forgiveness now and trusting God for redemption. He will forgive you. He's a kind God, but you also have to change. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Great to have you. Bless you. Please turn off the volume of your radio set. Oh, we lost that. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Let me take more calls. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, Pastor.
Bless you. Great to have you.
God bless you with this sound message, sir.
Thank you.
I want to thank God because God has been using you to preach this message to the world. This is what is going on in the world today.
Yeah.
Nobody is ready to hear where the money comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I told my children, if you go into this, I will disown you. I am not a party to it. Mm-hmm. I told my children, all my children, that they can't go to where you are not being ventured. You have to labor, then get your money.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work, then get your money. Mm-hmm. Not for you to try in one way or the other to dupe others. Where you did not plan, then you begin to go and harvest. Mm-hmm. This is a clear punishment from God. Mm-hmm. Sir, I really love this message. With this message, it's a sound message to every one of us that we should take our stand and labor before we can get our money. Mm-hmm. That will be a blessing to us at the end of the day. I love this message, sir. And I believe maybe you will continue to repeat this message so that everyone in the world will continue to hear of it. And if they will have a desire of change, a mind of change, and work towards on the right direction.
Amen.
Thank you, sir, for this message.
Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
And I believe maybe you will continue to repeat this message.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Great to have you.
Am I speaking with Mr. Rufai?
Yes. What's your name?
I love your... Yeah, I'm calling from Italy.
Great to have you. What's your name?
Nosa is the name.
Nosa from Italy.
Nosa is the name.
Good.
Yes, sir. In fact, you are a very wonderful person. I love listening to you each time you speak.
Thank you.
Even at the TVC. You know, and your message is very, very fine, and I'm happy for people to be listening to such messages. Mm. You don't need to go to the church to hear good sermon, you know, and if people can learn from what we are hearing here, it will go a long way in imparting lives. Though most often we blame the government for all the issues and a lot of things happening in society, but come to look at it, the family or the parents have a greater role to play.
Yes.
Because gone are the days when we were giving birth to things had not degenerated to this extent, where parents no longer question their children on the source of their wealth, even when they know it's not it's not legit. So I hope when we continue to preach on like this, they will keep on listening. But I blame the government for most part of this problem. Thank you very much. You are doing a very wonderful job. I want to commend you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And God bless you.
Thank you so much. You see, this is reality. And just like a lot of people are shouting, one change. A lot of people are shouting change will still collect bribe to vote for any candidate in 2023. Just watch and see. You will see. See, you know me, I'm a realist. They will still collect bribe to vote. You will see. Just watch. You will see action now. Action film. Except people change the mindset. You know, it's a cultural thing. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. You will see. You will see drama 2023. God sparing our lives. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello, great to have you. I can't hear you. There's noise at the background. 0700 903 903 903. Please learn to remove the noise. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you.
How are you, sir?
Pleasure to talk to you.
Same here, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
It's a pleasure to speak to you, sir.
My pleasure, sir. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Raymond.
Raymond, great to have you.
Yeah. Your sermon was so touching. It really took me way back home. Back then when we were kids. How parents normally brings us up, train us in a way to go, and then mostly the society is part of you that trains you. Even without your parents, the society, the community can discipline you, and you prefer them discipline you from allowing your parents to know that you have done it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now all those things are gone. Everything you see now, parents that are giving birth now are underage, and they accept anything they see because them themselves are going through a tough time. And the government is still part of it in a way anyway, but we can't totally say it's on the government all, but it's really a challenging. When the government can suppress people to a situation where they can suffer, and at the end of the day, when the election is coming, they bring out money and all these materials. People will actually succumb to their terms and conditions because they have gone through the suffering. That point now is where they will survive a little bit. But they don't actually understand that their future or the future of their children are at stake. So we have really been going through all these challenges. I was so touched by this summer. I just wish a lot of people, a lot of parents can hear this and then impact their own self before their kids.
Thank you so much. And that's what we
I
keep
love
putting
this message.
like this. Thank you so much.
I love this message.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you very
That's why we
much,
keep putting
sir.
it on so at least they will hear and change will happen. 0700 903 903 903. And it's a cultural thing. It's become a cultural thing. You see, we have a society that we accept everything bad. We've learned the worst things. We've lost value, but we can regain it. And if you think people will just deviate from the value system they've always known in the space of a year, it's not that easy. But that's why we keep talking about these words. And if you listen to all my messages from 10 years ago, it's still the same thing I've been saying. It's still the same thing I have been saying. And this is the way I've been saying it. I've not been saying it anywhere different from this. This is the way I've been saying it. And that's why you see a lot of film in society. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. People that you even think should have common sense. You will know that it's not common. You see, at the mention of money, anything goes in this country. Is big time water. Once money is involved. It's big time. You can still call the phone at 0700 903 903. But once money is involved, it's big time water. And you see people defend things that they ought not to defend because of money. And it's because of the society. So a lot of people are jobless. A lot of people, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what 500,000 naira, what even 10,000 naira can do in this country. How you can make people change mouth all of a sudden. People will call the devil God because of 10,000 naira in this country. Yeah, hello, how are you, sir?
Hello.
Great to have you, Pastor.
God bless you.
Bless you, sir.
You are blessed.
Amen.
And God continue to enrich you with more knowledge and wisdom.
Amen.
And we need more of you. We need more of you in this country.
Man.
Left and right, east and south, we need you.
Man.
And you are there already, you are blessed.
Amen.
You know, so I listened to you yesterday, and I'll continue listening to you. And I done some research, and I discovered something that we are out of our natural being. I believe these are the reasons of the kind of situation we find ourselves in this country. Because assuming we are in our natural self, this act could be normal. And let me just tell you one thing now. You know, at times, when you are, as you are speaking right now, I believe you are in yourself, you are natural. And someone listening to you now, this what you are saying of getting to that person, and you will promise that I'm going to implement this. But when something gets into him, maybe under one influence of one thing, either drug or whatever, it changed completely.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the major problems we are facing in this country. Mm-hmm. We are no more normal human beings after, and a lot of drugs outside there. Sometimes, some these guys, they don't care. Is to get this money. I want this money. I want this money. When someone dies, I want this money. You don't care. All I want this money. And it's not in natural self. I believe these are the most problems we have in this country. I don't know about the world. So I don't know how do we get away from this. I don't know.
We keep talking to people. We keep
in my community now.
Yeah.
There are some guys there. I gather and I talk to them. Sometimes there's broke bottle outside. In the next morning, his own dad wants to go and pray. He stepped on this bottle.
You see?
And I called, look at this bottle you broke. It's your dad. He now bring our head. Say, And he told me, look, here's the problem. It's garbage out. God will help us all.
Amen.
Because I don't know. Thank you. God bless you. We'll listen. One more of you. More of you. It's like water. It's finish you.
We'll keep talking about it. We'll keep talking about it. You know, so, and that's why when people say, "Hey, it's government," not going to be government. Now, wow. Somebody's okay. Wonderful journalist. I'm seeing some more calls. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Rufai. Good morning.
Morning. How's it going, sir? What's your name?
My name is Felix. I'm actually calling from outside the country.
Where are you calling?
I'm calling from Mali precisely.
Okay, from Mali.
I listened to your last episode of program, and I make it a point of contact not to miss any of your program. And I was happy to join this morning. The topic you're talking about, I actually drop a voice message on the WhatsApp, but since I had the opportunity to talk to you directly, well, this entitlement mentality has done a lot of Nigeria bad. I'm one of those people, and I like to share my experience with you and with especially the young generation. I'm one of those guys that attended both public primary and secondary school, even the university in Nigeria. And I was opportunity to be trained by Motorola to the level of an expert in what I do. Basically, what I do is more of a critical and national security communication system. I developed myself to that point whereby I even broke record that no blacks has done. I make sure that knowledge I could use to help my country. I brought, just as I stated in the message, there was one incident that happened. I don't want to call the name of the state. It's one of the Niger Delta states. In my network of colleagues, of experts in all over the world, so one of his company got a contract to do for one of the Niger Delta states. Then the guy called me that, oh, Felix, I know you are an expert in this area. We want you to handle the cases in your country, and you'll be able to do a better job. Because of what you are saying today, do you know when my name was submitted to this government, they said no, they won't wait with the Nigeria guy because, number one, somebody has collected money for the security of the person that is coming. Yes. Somebody has collected money for the hotel. Somebody has collected money of this. They say, Felix, what kind of a country is this?
Yes. No.
From that day on, I lost the confidence in doing anything with the country or with the government.
In fact, somebody probably even collected the kidnapping insurance money because, you know, they will not arrange and kidnap you.
Exactly.
And they will not collect the ransom.
Exactly.
This country now.
Exactly. No. See, do you know, as I'm speaking to you, they send a low-level technician, just because he's a white skin, to come and do the job. As I speak to you today, that job is in history. As I speak to you,
yes,
he cannot see the light of day as I speak to you today. And this same knowledge that they thought, is not worthy, is what I use to work with. I did a lot of projects for the oil and gas in Nigeria, and took me also to UAE. And that's exactly what I'm still doing here in the United Nations presently as I speak to you. So this is how much this entitlement mentality has also. I'm sure it's not only me. There are many of Nigeria like me that they deprive this kind of, even with the knowledge that God has endowed them with. Well, what can we do? We keep on praying.
No, but I mean, the sad reality is we just have to keep doing our best. It's just that someone like me have decided. Do you know how many opportunities I ought to have got that once they see Rufai in there, say, no, we can't give it to him. That boy is firebrand, though. I lose resources. I lose money for being objective, but I don't care because I've come to the point of view.
Because of other guys,
yeah. Because I've come to the point of view that you see, when you will still leave this money on earth. So, but the thing that is most important is to do good to others. There are people that say, "I know we can't give Rufai that opportunity." No. There are people that are saying now that if Rufai decides to speak to favor a political party, we'll be paying millions into his account. I say, I can't do it. I have to be objective. So I have seen it too many times. Personal interest. Most of the problems we have in this country, apart from corruption, what even causes corruption is not personal interest. Waiting I will shop for. There are many contracts that were never done today because somebody did not see what he was going to eat out of the contract, so he didn't sign it off. So it's about personal interest. We will keep speaking the truth. You know, I give myself to God.
Thank you so much. Continue doing what you are doing.
Uphold me. Amen. That's just it. You know, because if I want to be somehow, I go don't make my, I don't hammer. No. But the truth is, it's best because when you look at it, the world has enough to meet human need, not human greed. A lot of people get too greedy. So I'm not surprised. Personal interest is pervasive. What's in it for me? You know, there are some people, they don't sign any paper if their own is not there. They will decide to kill a company, run the company aground because their interests are not being favored. Many like that. Do you know how many? Even ordinary procurement, people say, I know if you don't give me my bribe out of it, I will not collect. That society we build for ourselves. And that's why you see, the people that shout about how bad the society is the most are the ones that benefit from it. So don't mind them. We shout a lot. It's very bad. It's so no. But they are in the corner. They are enjoying it. And we know what's going on now. You see, another thing. That's why I first preached about personal hypocrisy last week, because we are very big hypocrites. We are very big hypocrites as a people. And this is pervasive in society. This is goes down to the level of the common man on the street that asks, what is in it for me? We blame police. A lot of us are worse than Nigerian police. You know it now. You know, deep inside of you. And you're the one that are quick to do video and say, public accountability. This is bad. But you know the things you are doing in the corner. See, I'm not saying, because I'm a realist, I'm not saying everybody will change at once. it will be foolhardy. There's no perfect society. Well, if you can reduce it, then things will start being better. If we can reduce it. Yeah, I'm not saying change completely. I'll be stupid if I say that. I'll be very stupid if I say that. If I say everybody should just change, everybody just become saints in Nigeria, I say lie, it won't happen. That's why I'm still telling you that based on still. Those matter people say, oh no, these people will still collect money in 2023 and vote whoever they want to vote. It's a fact of nature. I'm a realist. But if we can reduce it, then we focus more on actually productivity, you get, then society can start becoming better. Society can start becoming better. Because we are all guilty. We are all guilty, one way or the other. And when you also look at it, it's because of what we've learned in our conditioning. Simple. It's because of what we've learned. That's why everybody feels entitled. Your gatekeeper feels entitled. Everybody feels entitled. Nobody does things for people for free again. What is in it from me? The entitlement is so perverse that people will at least collect something. If they are not collecting money from you, they'll collect sex. They'll collect anything in return. So that's the kind of society we built, and we can't deny it. But I'm just saying, if we tone it down a little bit, then society can be a whole lot better. Oh, sorry, I missed 2 calls. Please call me back. I see United Kingdom. I can see +61. Please call me back on those numbers. I didn't see it maybe when I was talking. 0700 903 903 903. I taped an interview with Professor Olufemi Vaughan, and he really made me understand a lot about religion and the role it plays in our politics. Hello, how are you? Hello? We lost that call. It really made me understand a lot about religion and the role it plays in our politics. And I'm going to play some excerpts now because I have rich resource as regards that. I got 1 hour of tape. Hello, how?
Hello.
Good morning. Morning, yeah.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to
you. I just tuning in my radio now, so I don't get the topic.
Okay, don't worry. Listen all over again. You'll get it. Just listen on. We talked about a lot of things. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning. Is this Mr. Rufai?
Yeah, this is Rufai. Great to have you. What's
Thank
your name?
you.
Where are you calling from?
My name is Messama, and I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Great to have you.
Thank you. So what I wanted to talk about is how can we in the diaspora actually help?
How you people
because,
can... Yeah, go ahead.
Because recently, in Houston, Texas, this past weekend, one of our Nigerian grocery stores, and I did participate in it, but I feel like there is more that we can do. I don't know if there's a way that the government can let us vote, which obviously we're not going to let it work. But I just keep wondering, over the past couple of years, I've been very interested in Nigerian politics and how to help. And I just wonder, what is your suggestion on how we in the diaspora can help out?
Okay, number one, we need to push diaspora voting. I don't see why you Nigerians in diaspora that add about 20 billion to the economy. In fact, you guys add more to the economy than governmental revenue in some cases, or close to governmental revenue. I don't see why you guys can vote. We need to push diaspora voting. I think there need to be lawmakers that can push for that bill. There must be a bill on the table for diaspora voting. That's one way. Second way, educate your friends and family members down here. I mean, you guys are exposed. You see what governance in action means. Educate them about it as much as you can. Also, still support the economy, because a lot of your money that you bring back home is what stabilizes the economy in terms of FX. So your remittances can be used to do a lot of projects. Then see where you can fill in the gap. I know a lot of you guys have homes and things there. See what you can do for individual sectors. So take, for instance, I have a book coming out in September with a couple of my friends, Dr. Andrew Nevid and the likes. And what we wrote in that book, we just celebrated Nigerians doing great things. Because we feel, okay, government has failed in some sectors, but Nigerians are doing great things in sectors. So take, for instance, if you guys can put money together, build a university that people can go at a subsidized rates. You can't go wrong with education. It could be a hospital. Build a hospital that people can go at a subsidized rates. So start seeing a strategy of how you can fill in the gap, because what really people are getting affected by are the things government cannot do. I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, I went to a friend of mine's house, and they said they wanted to do a road in their area. And they said, government said they should go and bring some part of the money. And they said, okay, you know what? Government, you guys, we don't give a hoot about you. So
But
all
it's
the
not
S
supposed to be
is not
so,
supposed to be
though.
so,
It's not-
but it's like that because they claim they don't have money. But you know what these guys did? They said, you know what? Even if we bring the money, it's not supposed to so, but people buying their own transformers in Nigeria now. But that's sad reality. So, and guess what? They put money together. Each person from every estate was coming to supervise the project, and they are well on their way to about building a 2-3 kilometer road, and they will complete it in record time. So people should see how they can crowdfund, invest in companies, manufacturers, and things like that. Ensure that the scale of production going, because you see, it is the informal sector that are largely helping the country. So things I'm passionate about, hospitals, I've really, because I see the plight of a lot of children and people that are ill. God sees my heart. If I had a free close to 500 to 1 billion naira today, I'll build a hospital. And you see the impact in lives of people at a subsidized rate, and it's quality hospital. And build universities. In the near future, I want to get a university license because I want to impact knowledge.
Yeah, but Mr. Rufai, let's say I have the money to build a hospital. It's going to be most likely in Lagos, where my immediate family stays. What about the northern Nigeria? What about other parts?
Who says you can't build there? Who says you can't build there? You can build there. You can build
With
there.
the insecurity going on?
Oh yeah, people need healthcare in those areas. You can build there with collaborative efforts. Because you forget things like hospital will still go on. Because when people are hurt, they will still have to go to the hospital. So nothing stops you. I mean, see, during the civil war in Nigeria, you might not even build hospitals. You might I'll tell you this story. During the civil war in Nigeria, a bunch of doctors, and I think, I'll have to verify the story, but I think this is how it came about. A bunch of doctors were so passionate and they saw a lot of people getting killed in Nigeria during the civil war. And guess what? All they did was to collaborate. French doctors, they went to the war zone and they were treating people for free. And because of that, they pushed it a step further and they said, let's start up something called Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders. And that was how Médecins Sans Frontières came about. And what do they do in Médecins Sans Frontières? They provide healthcare to victims on the battlefront. Look at the Red Cross. How did it come about? I think Henry Durant, a businessman and an investor, saw casualties, saw people being killed at the war front in the battles of the middle 1800s after the, after the Congress of Vienna. And he saw that nobody could take care of them in the war front. And that inspired him to start up something called the Red Cross. So people still need healthcare in areas where things are not working. It's just about having the mind to do it, mapping out a plan, and giving something sustainable back. And you see how God will bless you. So for me, those are priorities in my mind. God sees my heart that if I have millions today, I'd like to build a hospital. Hospital is germane for me. And a school where we can, teach values. And I would like to take a course called Value 101. In fact, everybody will do just where we curate teachings of values across generation. Because universities are so important. You don't have an idea of what you impact in people year on year. Just imagine a school where you have 40,000 pupils and you get a chance to impact them year on year. Do you know how resonating that impact would be in society where you spread it around? So for me, two quick areas: quality of healthcare and education is something I'm very passionate about. And thanks to some of you guys in Diaspora, I see a lot of Nigerian doctors. There's a new trend now. A lot of Nigerian doctors that are retired in America, they are coming back home to set up specialist practices. and that's really helping to fill in the gap with the medical system in Nigeria. And kudos to them. So we can only keep doing more for our country, and that's how we can scale and we can make it grow. I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you with these few words of mine, like we used to do in debate back in the days.
Yes, I do have other things to talk about, but I believe that there are other people on the line. But
Thank you so much.
I stay up every night. It's about 4 a.m. in Houston, but I always stay every night listening to you because you really inspire me. So keep up the good work, sir.
Bless you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bless you so much. And somebody was talking about technical schools too. Yes, build technical schools. You have no idea. Give people skills. Get it up and working. Get it up and running. But God sees my heart, I really, really want to own a university, more media houses, because media too shapes the thoughts and opinions of people, then healthcare facility. God sees my greatest dream will be to build hospitals. God, just have quality hospitals across these geopolitical zones in the country, and university, where I'd love to teach. I mean, I'm a teacher. I want to teach. I want to go back and teach. I want to go back to university. I still want to go back and teach and impact people. Hello, how are you? Okay. And I'm really passionate about teaching. So, university, when you go back to teach and all of that and see how it goes. And, just impact and feel people and teach the next generation. That'll be one. And more media outlets. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Rufai.
Great to have you, sir.
Good morning. God catch you for me this morning. This is where you ran to. I've been looking for you. This man, you are very wicked, you.
Me. God catch me.
How's everything, Mr. Rufai?
Okay, I'm here.
I'll be tracing you until I got you on Arise TV. I don't watch any TV now.
Thank you so much.
It's Arise TV I watch. I love the good work you people are doing.
Thank you.
I think we have to take this thing further. Maybe we will get where we can be meeting the likes mind in this country.
Yes, sir.
People can do anything because of money, my dear brother. I'm tired of people because of money. There's nothing they cannot do. It's not because of money. People will say something yesterday, today they will change. Mm-hmm. When they're taking something. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. And the movement now in Nigeria, because we need to have a change. We need to have a change of leadership. If we continue with this kind of leadership, we'll go nowhere. And if we miss this opportunity come 2023, we will suffer another 4 years or 8 years thereabouts. I always pray. I have the wherewithal to travel out of this country, but I can't do it. I love this country so much, so dearly, my dear brother. And there are so many opportunities abound in this country that I look to. I'm in my late 40s, but I just pray that Nigeria becomes better in my lifetime. Yeah. In my lifetime, yes. I'm doing my own best.
Thank you so much
but
as well.
This Muslim or Muslim, this Muslim or non-Muslim something, we don't supposed to argue much about it. Because Nigerians are now more wiser than before. The thing I have friends in Kano, in Katsina, I do call them, I get their feedback. And that is what they are going to do. What they tell me is what they are going to do. We don't need to argue about Muslim or no Muslim. We don't need to choose another dinosaur as our next president come to 2023. We just have to be focused and do the rightful.
Thank you so much.
Please continue doing your good work.
Thank you so much.
And please, we should have a place where the lifespan can be meeting in this country.
Thank you so
There
much.
are so many people that want good things to happen in this country.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Greet Dr. Abati for me.
Problem.
Tell him I love him, please.
Thank you so much. I'll tell him.
You're welcome.
I'll tell him. So let me quickly call the first guest, then I play the tape of the interview afterwards. Let me just quickly do it like that. You guys bear with me. But that university thing is really on my mind, honestly. I really want to own a university or co-own a university and healthcare centers. It's really important. Okay, I'll take this call from Dubai. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, I'm Chibeze.
Chibeze, you're calling me from where?
I'm calling you from Dubai.
Hey, Chibeze, what's happening in Dubai? I hear that they said some cult boys went to go and fight, and because of that, they stopped giving Nigerians visa in Dubai. What did you hear about it?
Yeah, that's the actual fact that what happened in Dubai.
So they stopped giving Nigerians visa to Dubai because of some people went to go and fight. How will Nigerians going to be fighting on that man's country?
That I don't know. You know, people with different mentality. Everybody know what he comes here for.
Oh, wow.
I call to appreciate you for your good works. I've been a listener of your program. You are doing a very great job.
Thank you so
You
much.
are doing many things. What many people, many pastors, even the pulpit cannot even. You are doing it. Thank you. God will reward you. I call to appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
a lot of people want to get in touch with me personally. I'll give her my email. 0700 903 903 903. A lot of people are saying, if I give out your number, if I give out my number, they're not going to let me rest. Let's do email, please. Okay, I'll give her my, that's the phone line to call, 0700 903 903 903. But email, rufaioseni@gmail.com. 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 So if you want to reach me, and calls are still coming in. Goodness me. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? Okay, we need to call this. Demola is Olanrewaju. He's the special advisor on media and what's it called for the PDP or something. Media and social media or something for the PDP campaign. Demola, how you doing now? Good morning. How's it going? All right, Demola, we're going on the radio soon. I hope you're ready. Demola, this is Rufai. Hope you're ready. Can you speak up a little bit louder?
Yes, I am.
Good. So you told me you are the what are you again to the PDP campaign? The special advisor on something. You know how Nate the talker.
Digital media strategy to Atiku Abubakar.
Okay, you're a special assistant on digital media strategy to Atiku Abubakar campaign, right?
To Atiku Abubakar himself.
Oh, to Atiku Abubakar himself.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of Nigerians are saying, what does your principal Atiku Abubakar have for Nigerians? They said they are not impressed with everything, that he's part of the old bloc. They are saying he's been running since 1992. What is different about him? That's what they are saying. And please, you can start sending your questions because this program is streamed live on YouTube. So you can send your questions you want to ask the special assistant on media for Atiku, digital media for Atiku Abubakar. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. So that's what people are asking. They say, what does your candidate have to bring to the table?
So I didn't get that.
They are asking, what does your candidate have to bring to the table? They say they are not impressed with anything he's brought forward yet.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people you have spoken with, but what I'm hearing.
There are plenty Nigerians who see. Demola, for instance, on this our YouTube group, Voice of the People, we've got over 26,000 subscribers. So most of them collectively, what they are saying is that they are not impressed yet. So you sell him to us. Let us know what he wants to do.
I mean, Nigerians know what Nigerians know what Atiku stand for in terms of restructuring. Atiku has been the biggest capitalist, the biggest leader in the past. In fact, over 2 days in Nigeria, somebody who has consistently, whether he was the ruling party or not,
Okay. Demola, let me call you back. I'm hearing the sound. Your sound is very poor. Let me call you on WhatsApp, Demola. Let me call you on WhatsApp. The sound it sounds very muffled. I think WhatsApp has a way of cleaning the sound. So it said the sound is. Let me just call him back on WhatsApp. I think it should be a whole lot better. Okay. So I think I should be able to, once I get it on WhatsApp, it should be cleaner and clearer. Hello, Demola. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. But can you hear me?
But it still sounds very hollow where you are. Yeah, it sounds very hollow where you are. Okay, let's see what we can make of it. But it still sounds hollow. My people are saying it sounds hollow. But moving on, Demola, so you're saying, what does Atiku have to bring to the table? People are asking, for instance, what does he plan to do on ASU strike? People have been on strike for so many months now. What does he plan to? How will he end it? What will he do? Okay, Demola, let me try and call you from another line. They're saying this thing is still not clear.
Still not clear.
Just a minute. So we'll try to call Demola back from another line. Okay. Okay, just a minute while we try to sort out. Goodness me, a lot of calls coming in. Oh my God, so many calls coming in. Please, guys, just hold on the calls, please. Let me try and call Demola back, or we'll not be able to take him, please. I beg you. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we're still trying to sort that out. Let's see how it goes. Yemi, please get me a jack for an iPhone, please. Next time, I beg you. Thanks. So we'll try to sort that out. A lot of people have got calls and calls and calls and calls and calls coming in. So as we get Demola on the line, then we'll be able to fix it. Okay. Hey, Demola. Good. Better now?
Is it better?
Oh, yeah, it's a whole lot better. So, as we're saying, so you said he's got a five-point agenda and all of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he has a 5-point agenda, and one of the 5 points is education. Now, the challenge of ASU and the incessant strikes has always been the lack of funding. The funding is simply not there, and government after government, they've not been able to resolve the issue of funding. And what Atiku Abubakar is bringing to the table in that regard is private sector participation, which is not privatization as some people misunderstand it, but inviting the private sector to make investments in the education sector. Atiku himself,
but they will want a return now. That means the schools are going to go up in price. They will want a return if you invite the private sector.
So, I mean, you have to get creative because the funding is simply not there. The federal government cannot bear the burden of education in Nigeria as it is. And that's why you have the problem across various state governments. You have the problem also with federal universities. The only sector that doesn't have that problem is private universities. And so you have to have a way, in which you can attract investments, and whatever returns they are getting, maybe they are getting tax breaks on their businesses, they are getting, various incentives from the government. But the point, I think the underlying point is that the funding is simply not there. An agreement has been had with ASU since as far as 2009, I think, or even 2006. Where
let me get it right, Demola. You want to bring private sector into education. That's the educational plan of Atiku Abubakar. And I'm saying once private sector coming, the cost will go up. And I'm saying this because of Nigerians that are used to low educational costs. So is that the way out? And what will you as government be spending on education?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that it doesn't necessarily have to go up. Okay, you are trying to break it. You are trying to make it as easy for the students also. So you are not looking at exorbitant costs, such as you have in the private universities. But there has to be private. I mean, there are a lot of areas of research where you want people to come in. For instance, Nigeria still does not have the capacity, or we've not been able to tap into the capacity to refine oil. Yet we have people studying petrochemical engineering in Nigeria. You have the tech sector. You have people making in the tech sector, studying computer science. As a matter of fact, those who study computer science in our public universities have never even seen a laptop before. So how do we get these people to give back? Let them endow seats in universities, in various areas of research that will benefit not just the government, that will benefit not just the investor, but will also benefit.
But it's not a new idea now, Demola, because endowment goes on. What is it called? This Yaba just set up an endowment. Yaba Tech Yaba College of just set an endowment of 50 billion. So it's not a new idea. So it's not that they are bringing.
But it's isolated. It's isolated. It's isolated. What you have are isolated instances. You don't have
even Unilag has endowment. Unilag has endowment. Everybody's got endowment.
The last time we had Rufai, the last time we had major investments sort on a government scale, for public universities or for public schooling institutions was the Adopt a School initiative by a former minister under the PDP government. That was the last time we had the federal government come out and say, look, we want to partner with the private sector. It's different from just endorsement, from just endowment. We are talking more now about, having a president that believes in actual education. And that's just one example. Inadequate funding is a key challenge. That's just one.
But Demola, you see, let's be objective. The prices will go up. They wanted to try this thing with federal schools, FGCs at a point. And the kickback was the fact that the unity school prices will go up. So are you ready to also tell Nigerians that they will pay more in university fee? Because I have other issues I want to move on to. So let's just clear that. And this idea of endowment is not a new idea. Endowment is going on. How many hostels that were built in endowments in this school? You know how many money that's still been given? You know how much Babalakin gave in endowments to University of Lagos Law Department? So people are doing it. It's not pronounced, but people are doing it.
Rufai, this is the point. In 2019, the federal government funded education sector 7%. In 2020, it was 5.6. In 2021, it was 5.7. And so the government is not even playing its own part. The UNESCO advises that developing countries should reserve 25% of their budget for education.
Will Atiku Abubakar government, how much will Atiku Abubakar, what percentage of budget will Atiku Abubakar put in education?
I cannot say categorically, but I know that it is going to be substantially more than what this present government is doing.
What is substantial?
And the reason I say that,
no, but Demola, he has his manifesto out already now. What is substantial?
Rufai,
yeah.
I believe that you would allow me to answer the question.
Go ahead, Demola, go ahead now. I'm just asking questions.
All right, thank you very much. I'm stating where we are presently. The funding is not adequate. It doesn't even match the problems on the ground. And I'm saying that when our government comes in, we are going to increase it. Now, what that substantial will be, we cannot say yet because we are not yet in government. What we do know now is that 47% of the out-of-school population is domesticated in Nigeria. You have 13 million children who are not in school. Because what we are discussing here is just at the tertiary institution. We are not talking yet about the primary school. We are talking about basic education yet. Remember that the only government that has brought in the universal basic education was the government of Obasanjo and Atiku between 1999 and 2007. And so what you need is somebody who clearly believes in education, and that's Atiku Abubakar. He has proven it. And when people say that, Atiku Abubakar built a private university, more than half of the people who are there are on scholarships.
But Demola,
you can go into other sectors of society. You can go into other sectors of society as an investor.
Demola, yes. I just asked you a question. You should by now know how much of the budget he will put into education. So I ask you, how much of the budget? That's just all I want to know before we move on to other things. We have many other issues to talk about, and time is fast spent.
Rufai, I am a special assistant on digital media. The policy document that we put out has highlighted the problem. It has highlighted the solutions. But that policy document does not say anything about what specific percentage we will put in. What I am saying to you is that on education, what you have is somebody who is committed to improving the education sector.
Okay, so he's committed to improving the education. Let's go straight to power. What is his plan on power, the power sector?
The problem of the power sector is simply that for me as a Nigerian, the problem of the power sector is that we've not been able to harness investment in that regard. We've not been able to maximize the investment that Nigeria has made over the years. And one of the underlying problems is the fact that you have an ideology problem in that regard.
Demola, just tell us the plan. We know the preamble. Just tell me the plan on the power sector, because there are a lot of things to discuss.
What we target here, the plan is simply to diversify the power sector. Let's harness all forms of renewable and non-renewable energy, from hydro to solar to nuclear to biofuel, other thermal fuels, and so on, in addition to natural gas. So that's the plan. The plan is to increase the target to 10,000 in the short term, 25,000 megawatts in the long term. That's what we're looking at.
10,000 in how many years? 10,000 megawatts in how many years?
10,000 in the short term. 10,000 in the short term, 25,000 in the long term. Transmission, in terms of transmission capacity. In terms of 10,000 megawatts transmission capacity.
What's the short term? What time frame is the short term?
The short term depends on how you project government. So if you're in government for 4 years, short term should be about 2 years. If you're in government for 4 years, long term will be the duration of that period. So this is on the transmission side.
How will he pay for this 25,000 megawatts? How will he pay for it?
A process has started already. The process that started was the privatization of the power sector. That process started. Government made investments in the sector, regulated but where you have a problem is regulation problem. The NERC that is supposed to regulate that industry is presently not living up to its responsibilities.
No, how will you pay? I'm not asking you about NERC and regulation. I know all of that. How will you pay for it? How will you pay?
I'm coming to that, Rufai. I'm coming to that, and I think if you ask a question, if you're interested in the answer, then you should allow me to answer. Now, the process that started was the privatization. You have Gencos in the country, you have discos in the country. It has been privatized already. But you have a regulation problem. In other words, people bought discos, people bought Gencos with promises to improve that sector. So where you have a problem now is that the regulator is not holding those people who are in control of those discos and Gencos. They are not holding them to account to provide the services that they should provide. So it's a regulation problem. Those who have made private investments, those who bought those discos and Gencos should increase their investment in that sector. The burden is no longer on government, except on the transmission side, which was supposed to also have been privatized, but a government came in that doesn't believe in privatization or doesn't believe in private sector participation.
Demola, because of time, how would you pay for it? That's just the question I asked you. How would you pay for it?
The question has been answered over and over again. The people who paid for it and promised to deliver a service need to pay more in order to unlock the potential of that industry. I've answered the question.
Demola, you said Demola, hang on a minute. Demola, cool down. You said that you will fix transmission, 10 to 25,000 megawatts. You have to buy solid infrastructure on ground. How would you pay for it? That's just all I ask for you. How would you pay for it? Don't tell me. Listen. Don't tell me about discos and Gencos that still owe money that they have been taken over by banks now. Tell me how the government will pay for it. This Siemens deal is Nigerian government that is paying for it.
No, hold on. What government is going to invest is transmission. There are three sectors to power.
But how would they pay for that one, Demola?
Explain it. You generate the power, you distribute the power, and then you transmit the power.
How will they pay for it?
In terms of generation and distribution, people have paid for it already. What they paid is not now generating or distributing enough.
Okay, Demola, you've not answered my question. Let's move on to other things. Because I just asked a simple question, but you can't answer. Can I move on to other things? No, I just asked. No, Demola. I just asked how would they pay for it, but you can't answer it. Let me move on. I'm moving on to other things. Real quickly, I'd like to talk about restructuring.
I'm sorry, our listeners are laughing at this moment because they're not letting me answer. I've answered your question.
Demola, let's move on to other things, really.
What
will it do about the NNPC?
The NNPC, we should have enhance private sector participation. Let's sell some shares in NNPC, privatize a part of it, retain government regulation, the way it should have been in the electricity sector. You bring in investors put in their money and they expect profit at a later date. Now, what you do as a government is ensure that it is well regulated. If it is well regulated, it brings in the investors put in their money, but the outputs that they give to Nigerians, you ensure that side of it is regulated by government, which is also what I answered in terms of electricity. Okay. So investors have invested, regulators should ensure that they deliver on what they promised when they brought their money to invest.
Okay, so you're going to privatize it, it's going to go out. How can you ensure...
Private sector participation. That was what I said.
Hang on a minute. How can you ensure that if it's private sector is brought in, it will not be the case of the PDP government in the early 2000s that most of these companies were sold to their friends and cronies? How would you ensure that? Because even this power sector
it's not a question of selling to your friends and cronies. What you have is
that was what happened before now. That was what happened before.
That was not what happened before.
No.
Which companies? Who are the friends and cronies that bought which?
Oh, your friends are cronies. That's why they can't even run the companies they did buy. When did the privatization happen?
Who bought them? Who are the friends and cronies?
Mention them. PDP government, the privatization happened?
Mention them. Who are the friends and cronies? Who are the friends and cronies that bought
PDP government, the privatization happened? I'm asking you, Demola. Wasn't it under the PDP government?
Yes.
So simple. Go ahead. Just ensure. Go ahead and answer the question.
See. This is the basic thing. One thing I've emphasized here is that government must regulate. Whether it's your friend or your crony or your enemy or your interviewer or Rufai or Demola that buys it is not the problem of the regulator. The problem of the regulator is this. At the time that you are trying to buy, your capacity is tested. You ensure that credible people are brought in to invest. Whether it's your friend or enemy or crony doesn't matter, so long as the person has capacity to deliver. Now, when you put in your money into that private sector participation, the regulator tells you, in 2 years, you deliver this to Nigerians who are the consumers. If you are not able to deliver, whether you're a friend or you're an enemy or you're a crony, you will be removed. You will be given a warning. There will be processes. So the regulation aspect of it is what we are talking about, either in the electricity sector or with NNPC in the oil and gas sector. Yes, you want to unlock the potential by bringing in investors, whether your friends, your enemies, or cronies, or whoever. What matters is that the regulator must be people who will do their jobs fearlessly, and that government is committed in maximizing the potential of that particular industry for the benefit of Nigerians who are the consumers.
Okay, I've got like 5 minutes more, Demola, so let's maximize time. What will your government do about 119% debt to service ratio and the fact that we don't have money? What would your government do as regards the high debt level of Nigeria? 3 things.
One of the problems is that the federal government is taking on too much. The federal government is biting more than it can chew. The federal government needs to devolve powers to the states so that some of that, the responsibility being shouldered by the federal government should pass on to the states, to the constituent units of Nigeria. That is number one. Number two, Nigeria has a lot of assets which is presently not unlocking. One of them is an instance which you have given, the NNPC. Saudi Arabia's Aramco is today a profitable company following the model which I said, private sector participation. When the private sector comes in and invests their money to reap at a later time, to make profit at a later time, ensure that you have strong regulators. NNPC, 10% of NNPC might be enough to settle some of these debts that you are talking about.
Okay, so you put an IPO for NNPC, you sell 10% of NNPC.
Number three,
I'm asking you that you will sell 10% of NNPC off.
You asked for 3 examples. I've given one. Number one thing I said that we
would you sell 10% of NNPC off?
If you are interested in answers, then you wait till I give the answer.
Demola.
One thing I said, no, you asked 3 things now. You said 3 things that we would do. I've mentioned them.
Demola,
I gave
I'm
an
asking
example.
you a question. Would you sell 10% of NNPC off? Demola, please. Demola.
I didn't say that.
Demola, you are my very good friend, but please remember I'm the host here. Keep your voice down.
Okay.
Calm down. I'm just asking you.
I'm calm. I'm calm. No, you're not allowing me to answer the question.
You said like telling 10% of NNPC off. So I'm asking you, would they launch an IPO for NNPC? Would you sell some part of it off to be able to get assets for the government?
Some part of it, yes.
Okay, you sell some part of it.
So don't restrict it to 10%. Don't restrict it to 10%.
No, but you said like selling. No, Demola, wait. Demola.
I gave an example.
Okay, so say it's an example. Good. Okay,
it was an example. I said like 10%, and so it wasn't categorical.
Okay,
and I think listeners understood that.
Yeah, go ahead.
But remember where I started from. Number one, federal government is taking on too much. Devolve some of those powers and responsibilities to states. Number two, unlock the potential of assets in Nigeria. Number three, which is the biggest problem that this government has, the climate for investment in Nigeria is simply not there. When you ignore things like the rule of law, when you ignore things like the institutional framework, when you try to build around yourself and not institutions, investors do not come in. Our government or the government of Atiku will come in, put in the right climate for investors to come in. Right now, you have a lot of cases in the court where people came in, invested their money, and they are being yanked off for those things to be sold to families and friends of those who are in town.
Okay, real quickly. Apapa Port has been a problem since the Obasanjo days, which Atiku Abubakar served in. When will this problem be solved, and what is your approach to solving this problem of Apapa Port?
Well, specific to different ports, one of the problems that Apapa Port has is that it is overburdened. It's a preferred destination for a lot of exporters and importers, but it doesn't have the capacity. Basically, the capacity has not improved. So what you want to do is to diversify to other ports. The other ports, in different places all across the country. Atiku Abubakar, as somebody who has worked at customs, and as somebody who he had some of his career, at the Apapa ports, is someone who definitely understands the problem. And what you'll be looking at is ensuring that
the solution. Go ahead, just say the solution.
I said a solution, and I think it is clear. I said diversifying to other ports. I said that just now. I said diversifying to other ports. You have ports in One. You have Lekki Free Trade Zone.
How are you going to pay for the diversification?
You are not paying for it. What you simply do is, if you want to bring goods in, this category of goods, let them come in through Port Harcourt. Let them come in through other ports.
Wait. Demola, stop shouting. Demola, stop shouting. Stop shouting.
I'm surprised.
Hang on a minute. Demola, stop. Just cool it down. Demola, just cool it down.
I'm very cool.
Demola, just cool it down. So you forget that you still have to dredge those ports. So that's what I'm saying. There must be infrastructure. You must pay something to be able to diversify to the other ports. So how are you going to pay for it?
Let me ask you a question. What are you dredging at Lekki Free Trade Zone? At the port at Lekki, what are you dredging? It is dredged already. What are you dredging at the Port Harcourt port? Rufai?
What about the Warri port? What about the cocoa port?
Hold on. How many ports do you have in Nigeria? Are they all being maximized? Why Apapa is the preferred destination? Because Apapa is the most organized. What you simply need to do is ensure that everything is. I'm explaining to you. What you need to do is ensure that. So you say, for example, Rufai, you want to bring in radio equipment into Nigeria. We are not going to accept your radio equipment. We won't allow you to deliver them at Apapa ports any longer, maybe from June or from XXX period, so that you don't get affected from June.
You need a base investment in those ports. You need a base investment in those ports. And I don't have time. You've got 2 minutes more.
You don't have time, but you keep on interrupting me. You've not allowed me to answer a question fully, because I don't know what you want to get specifically. So give me 30 seconds to simply say what I want to say. Some ports in Nigeria are fully ready and operational. Simply ask whoever is importing or exporting. If you want to import or export this particular category of products, don't go to a Papa port, go to the other ports that are ready. It is simply a matter of policy instruction and policy sake. Yes, some investment needs to be made, but in the short term, you can ensure that not everything comes in through their Papa ports.
Okay, so Demola,
sure you understand what I'm saying
one
now.
question. I get what you're saying. So who pays for that investment that needs to be made? That was all I was asking since, and you were just going around in circles. Who pays for that?
No. That wasn't what you were asking. You asked what the solution would be, and I said go to other ports. The investment you have to make in ports is not as substantial as building new ports. Because at the end of the day, like I said, there's a way Nigerians always approach these things. The Port Harcourt ports, for instance, you have private sector participation in Port Harcourt ports. Some parts of it are handled by different companies. If you invite private sector participation, you see the biggest problem, and I think since you said you're almost out of time, I want to round up by saying that. Okay, all right. So let me just round up. I think it is a grave injustice to Nigeria for us to put so much burden on government, and the reason why this happens is because a lot of people, the way Nigeria is being run is presently distorted. We have a lot of brilliant people. We have in different sectors. We have a lot of brilliant people who are bringing up creative solutions in different sectors. What the Atiku Abubakar government is going to be about is partnering with the private sector in different areas. And so when you ask who's going to fund this, who's going to fund that, when you ask who's going to fund this, who's going to fund that, I think, government will fund some of it, private sector will fund some of it.
Okay, thank you so much for your insight, Demola. Really appreciate you for your time this morning.
I wish we have time to do this.
No, we're going to do more. We're going to do more sessions. Definitely, I can tell you that. Yeah. But please, just calm things down. I'm just asking you the questions pertinent on the minds of Nigerians.
I am very calm. I am calm. If it's Sunday morning, I'm calm. I'm talking to my old friends, and I enjoy this conversation. I look forward to having
No wahala. Take it easy, all right? Wish you guys a lot of luck in your campaigns and everything.
Thank you so much. And you too.
Appreciate you. Thanks for your Sunday, all right?
All right.
Keep it real. Right, so that's Demola there, special advisor to the Atiku campaign on media, social media. So you'll be hearing more of Demola as this campaign starts off. A special advisor to other campaigns too. Definitely will get a chance to, get a lot of them. Let me take a couple of calls before I play Prof's interview. I'll play excerpt of it today. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Rufai. My name is Henry. I'm calling from Germany.
Great to have you. Yeah.
It's like this Mr. Demola is the name. It's like waste of time to bring him for this show. Because could not answer most of the questions we're asking.
No, but he has a right to come on the show and say his own part. We can't say it's waste of time for anybody.
Yeah, sure. But it's so sad he cannot answer the questions. You have to answer him. It's always come aggressive. This is how you want to present to Nigerians. Nigerians are tired of all these lies from politicians. We are tired of it. We are really tired of it. You understand what I'm saying? All they say, okay, look at Nigeria as a whole. The giant of Africa, we don't have 24 hours electricity. But you are asking him direct question, how are you going to bring this electricity to place? But he cannot even answer. Atiku will come for election. If he lose, he go back to Dubai. When the election time is coming, he come back to Nigeria. This is the man said he wants him to be president of that country. But they forgot that this time it's not about party issue. It's not about religion. It's not about a tribe. It's about we Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, are standing up for Peter Obi. And this is Obi. This is how it's supposed to be.
The campaign hasn't started yet. Let it start before. Okay. You are.
Yeah, we're going to rock it down. We're going to rock it. Thanks for your good work, Mr. Rufai. You are brave and straightforward. I like the way you conduct your interview. Thank you very much. I'm watching.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll see if I need Yemi's help more than ever before now. If we can just come save me as regards we getting something to be able to play Professor Vaughn's interview. Hello, how are you? We'll play some excerpt of it today and take the concluding one. Hello, how are you? Hello? Okay, we lost that call. I think that was from Quebec in Canada. It's quite a heavy file here. So I'm trying to send it to you via WhatsApp so we can... Okay. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Morning, how's it going? How are you? Yeah.
I'm calling from Italy, Roma.
From Rome. Okay, great to have you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Chinedu.
Chinedu, talk to me.
I like this way the program. I always follow you for your program.
Thank you so much.
See what I want to talk for this matter. Nigeria people, now with our problem. All of them they come abroad. They see things so they happen for abroad after organized. But for Nigeria, they come back. They don't want. You see this life we will not get and all this is where they happen. They go feed them for Nigeria, but they don't want do them. Why? Because if they do them, we go okay. So what would they enjoy for a year? They go feed them. Why did they come? Why did they come here? They can't enjoy. They go come here, can't take holidays, can't do this. They go chat everywhere. But when they come outside, they don't go. Why? Because they know say if they do, I go open. So all these stuff where they call this one where they call, if they don't give them small money now, all of them go come they lie and say this president go fit do this thing, and if he reach there, no go fit do anything. So all this is where they argue. Presidents will go feel rule for Nigeria. Now president will get asked, we go feel all those rich people. He go first of all arrest all their money they steal all. Now be where Nigeria go take good. If you like, make we go bring Reverend Father put for president. If we not fit seize all the rich people money, this Nigeria no go feel good. Now I be my own advice.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Hello, how are you doing? Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning. You're the one calling from Quebec.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Morning.
Yeah, I'm actually calling from Montreal, Canada.
Oh, Montreal.
I just want to say thank you, Rufai. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Montreal is in Quebec, Canada.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for, doing a very good job. You're one of the reasons I watch Nigerian TV stations.
Thank you.
You feel that 85% of journalists are kind of compromised. They do it for the politicians. They don't do the building of the masses. You happen to be someone who has stand out among them, and I just want to appeal to Nigerians that this cannot be business as usual. It's very painful that I tell myself that one of the best things I did was to give my children the option of having dual citizenship, not to give them to them in Nigeria. And that's very painful. This can't be business as usual. I see young people campaigning for Atiku Abubakar. I want you to go and read the Olusegun Obasanjo's book. This person worked with Atiku directly. And he said in that book that the amount of money Atiku Abubakar stole can feed 400 million people. I don't know, the other guy was saying a whole lot about Atiku investing, involving education. How come Nigeria education has been a crisis and the funding has been one of the worst in the world, one of the lowest in the world, and Atiku has a private university? And I have questions for Nigeria. If you think Atiku is going to come and transform Nigeria, how is he going to recoup all the money he has spent in buying delegates? Do you honestly, from your heart of heart, believe that Atiku will not reward his cronies, people who have been with him all the years, at the detriment of Nigeria? I want us to think. You can't want Nigeria to be like, the Western world, like US, like Canada, like Europe and all those things, and you want to continue doing the same thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate you. We need to go now. I need to play some parts of Professor Vaughn's interview, where he expatiated on,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Where he expatiated on the topical matter of, understanding religion and the role it plays in politics. We'll just play some parts of it. Wherever we'll play for like 10 minutes, then we'll come back next week and play more. Hello.
Sorry about the interruption. So the history here is the ways in which whatever your particular perspective in the humanist ideas about public policy or actionable ideas in how we want to understand what Nigeria really is. Religious structures and practices and ideas and ideologies are now deeply embedded into the character of the society itself. So I think here, Northern Nigeria has a particularly unique problem, right? That is the first unit of analysis that we need to understand. The confrontation rooted in the jihad of Usman Dan Fodio. This is not just simply a religious question. Remember, that jihad also, when you take into account the kind of ideas, doctrines, intellectual engagement that came out of that jihad, extremely expansive and rich. The writings of the Sheikh himself on a variety of questions is brother Abdullah Dan Fodio, and of course the second Caliph, Muhammad Bello. And even the notion of the ways in which women had so much ideas and contribution, the role of one of his favorite children, Nana Usmani. It's very important for us as Nigerians really to take those questions very seriously and read on those issues to understand why Northern Nigeria is unique. Why those kinds of questions also help us to understand ethnic identities. So a Muslim in Northern Nigeria is not just simply about being Hausa or Fulani or the affiliated Hausa Fulani. These questions were also very much charged in the debate between Muhammad Bello and major leaders who are Kanuri. El Kanem, for example. The jihad here is not just simply about dominating and conquering non-Muslims. It's also about dominating and establishing an Islamic aristocracy in this vast, heterogeneous, diverse region of West Africa, arguably the most diverse in all of Africa, right, including, by the way, the Maghreb and Egypt. That's really why Northern Nigeria requires a lot of understanding. So that's the first area of exploration. Now, as you track, the second area of engagement is to think about what these two world religions will mean in the southwest of Nigeria and the south of Nigeria. Religion here will speak to a whole host of different variables. I did mention earlier the role of Islam in the Yoruba region, among Yoruba people, and the role of Christianity in the Yoruba region. Christianity and Islam arrived in Yoruba land in terms of their extent just about the same time. Of course, Islam had been in the Yoruba region before Christianity by several decades, to be sure. But the impact was essentially very much a 19th century, a second half of the 19th century phenomenon. The role of the Church Mission Society first is crucial in this regard. Most of you, or your listeners, will know names like Ajayi Crowder, for example. The role they played and the role of the Saro coming from Sierra Leone as Yoruba returnees. Right, so the Saros actually are very much people who know where they're from. They're very conscious Yoruba. It's been argued that most of them became Yoruba in Sierra Leone of all places. Right? Of course, they're Yorubas in terms of their identity. They identified more with their ancestral homeland and hometowns. Oshobo, Ijebu-Ode. There was no Abeokuta by the time they left. There was no Ibadan in its real form by the time they left. There was no Ijaye by the time they left. So many of them from various Ekiti, Ijesha, hometowns. But the idea of Yoruba identity became real when they were far away in a foreign land. In other words, they were now defining themselves in juxtaposition to other groups of people that are distinctively different from them. So one can now begin to talk not just simply about so-called tribes. These are not tribes. These are ethno-nations in the making. The Yorubas became real. You can't separate, my point is, you cannot separate Yoruba national identity from its modernist Protestant Christian roots as Anglicans, later on as Methodists, as Baptists, and so on. But those individuals, the identities of Yoruba Christianity, had to find a way to engage Yoruba Islam. Because Yoruba Islam was already there. and pervasive and strong and deeply rooted. So in the southwest of Nigeria, it is virtually impossible, no matter what people may say or do. I can almost assure you Yorubas are not going to be fighting and killing themselves on the basis of their two world religious identities. People will make all kinds of assertions. And of course, the wave of some type of, I don't want to overgeneralize, some type of strident Pentecostal charismatic identity of Yoruba Christianity in opposition to Islam, for me, is not really constructive. And by and large, it will not work.
Why did you say so, sir?
It will not work because fundamentally you're Yoruba first. No matter your passion for your religion as a Christian or Muslim, that's the point. What is hegemonic in Yoruba land is really Yoruba identity, Yoruba nationality. I'll go even as to say that. So it is very difficult. And this is not to say that Yorubas are not passionate about their religion. Of course they are. In terms of worship, in terms of adherence, in terms of commitments, as we all very well know. So the question of religious piety is it's quite distinct from how you infuse religion, politics into religious identity. What is really problematic for me in Nigeria is the fusion of power politics into one's religious and ethnic identity. Yoruba identity, ethnic identity, or ethno-national, ethno-regional identity, ethno-linguistic identity is supreme, despite the rather pervasive passion for one's own religiosity. That is what oftentimes is missing in central and northern Nigeria, if you see the point I'm making. It is inevitable that in northern and central Nigeria, that ethnic identities and regional identities are infused with religious identities. That is to say, in much of the Hausa region of Nigeria, being Hausa is always perceived as being Muslim, as in B-E-I-N-G, and being a northerner. So the question is, if you're not a Muslim, if you're not Hausa, perhaps if you're not Kanuri, and if you're a northerner, and there are many, because as you know, northern Nigeria is a vast heterogeneous region, then the question is, how do you position yourself? It stands to reason that major representative organizations such as CAN, religious organizations such as CAN, will have a more formidable role to play among non-Muslims, that is to say minorities as Christians in northern and central Nigeria. So here, Christianity is not just simply a matter of worship and adherence. Christianity here now becomes inevitably a defense political mechanism against perceived Hausa Fulani and sometimes Kanuri Muslim domination. You see, the question here is no longer really religious, it's now political. If you see the point I'm making.
Yeah,
but oftentimes when we have the discussion, we always have the discussion as though this is just uniquely an inevitable struggle between Christians and Muslims. Right? We always want to present this, that these two world religions are irreconcilable and cannot accommodate one another. I mean, as we very well know, these are two great world religions. They always shadow one another. They're always looking at one another. They're always positioning one another strategically. And it's really very important for the adherents, the believers in these two world religions, to really understand the unique qualities and characters of one another out of respect and even sometimes deference. That is oftentimes what is missing. But we do need a good understanding of
one thing is certain, we'll definitely play this interview again. You have the final word on the show. You have 20 seconds. Hello, how are you? What's your name?
All right. Good morning, sir. Mr. Rufai. My name is Michael. I'm calling from Germany.
You're calling from Germany. Great to have you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, I've been following your program.
Thank you so much.
I thank you very, thank you very, very much for the good job you are doing. May God give you more more grace, more power, more energy to continue. And I like the way you always be specific. You always go straight and ask them exactly what are they up to. You know, so I don't have much to say.
Thank you so much,
You
my
know, I
brother.
just call to appreciate your work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
Thank you.
brother. Keep
Bless
it
you.
up.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Chucks. I'm calling from the UK.
Great to have you. 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to use this opportunity to thank you for great job you've been doing. Yeah, I love the way you put on questions and because look at what you asked Demola this morning, and he couldn't even answer not even a single question you asked him. And this is how these people have been fooling us. They gang up with us, send the youth among us to come and rubbish us, because they know we cannot ask that much questions, just like the last interview granted to Atiku. When I woke up in the morning, I saw that you weren't there. I said, this is complete scam, and coming back to watch what you said, asking questions, he didn't answer. I told my friends, look, this is what I've been saying, so I just want to use this opportunity to thank you, and I want you to get involved more on these politicians, please, if you can. Ask them those questions, because I know you know what the Nigerian youth or Nigeria in general wants, and that is why we need people like you. You remind me. I was just talking with my friend. He said you remind him of Delegiwa. This is the time. Journalism is journalism in our country. So please.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to take much of your time.
We need to go now because
but
we
please
need to
keep
go
the
now.
good work.
We need to go now.
Yeah, keep the good work. Thanks.
Thank
you.
So that's the show for you today. I'll thank you so much. I'll talk to you next week. But one thing is certain, I want a lot of people to listen to the Professor Vaughn's interview. So I think we'll play a lot of it extended. It's about an hour of good tape. And I'll see if I can do one or two other candidates for governor across the states of the country and see if we can get their context and put them on the radio and talk about a lot. So thank you guys so much. That's the show. Adios. Bless you.